This is my legal disclaimer. I'm not a lawyer, though I have played one on the internet before successfully. Basically, the basic thing you need to understand is I'm adorable, okay? I will not try to steal from you, kill you, or ruin you financially unless you pay me first. There's always a contract, okay? So I'm one of the good guys, and when I give this talk, at certain points you're gonna go, that's not nice. He's a horrible person. Remember the kittens, okay? So just, I'll make sure I put another reminder in there, don't worry. This is the slide to remind me where I'm at. Hello, CNS Summit. It's like, and this is just the least interesting part of the slide because it's about me. Just remember that I do blue team and I do red team. So it's like blue team is the defensive side. So I help build defenses. I like going after bad guys. I like seeing bad guys go to jail for doing bad things. But at the same time, I found out that a good way to actually find how to build good defenses is to break them. And I have a really good talent for breaking things. So I've started doing the red team. So I do a little bit of both now. It's like a purple team. So this is the title of the talk. It's like how to secure your banks and enterprises from someone who robs banks and enterprises for a living. And I love this because this whole talk is going to be about risk. It's about how we look at risk when it comes to computers, because that seems like we have a problem with how we assess risk. This is the perfect example of it. This was from the Super Bowl this year. It was a tier 1 level security event. They had 5,000 police officers there. They had the National Guard. They had the Secret Service. The Vice President was there. That security was locked down, right? I mean, they probably had the Coast Guard. I mean, it's like everybody was there. 3 kids were also there. These teenagers were like, hey, can we sneak into the Super Bowl? Guy was like, let's find out. So they find a hole in the chain link fence in the parking lot surrounding the Super Bowl. They go through this chain link fence. They find a ladder. And another guy goes and says, hey, if we all carry the same ladder, do you think we can go past the security and all the police and get into the actual stadium? The guy's like, let's find out. All 3 of them carried a ladder past the 5,000 police officers, the Secret Service, the National Guard. They took pictures in the, I'm not a sports ball person. I don't know what the bunker, dugout, whatever those things are that the players are at. It's like they were there. They were up in the stadiums. It's like they saw Tom Fieri. It's like they were filmed on TMZ. And if you really don't believe any of this, because this is insane and you shouldn't believe it because it shouldn't be believable, they YouTubed the whole thing. So you can actually watch their exploits on YouTube. It was awesome. That's not a security risk at all, right? I mean, we were protected from Al-Qaeda and like a terrorist and a lone bombing, whatever, but not 3 teenagers with a ladder because we weren't actually judging what our risk really could be. And humans do that a lot too. Remember Ebola? Oh my gosh, America freaked out, right? Because some of the Ebola's going to get us. I mean, it was worse like the summer of the shark and stuff. You know, they're hyping that stuff up. You know, it's like, oh my gosh, you got to watch out for the Ebola. Everybody's got to watch out for that. And it was unfortunate. You know, 2 people did die in the U.S. It's like from Ebola. That same year, 55,000 people died from the flu. While you were worrying about that Ebola, maybe you could have gotten a flu shot, is all I'm saying. It's like, I mean, it's like, how are we really managing our risk? What's really we're afraid of and what we think is going to happen to us versus what's really the actual threat we need to look at. This is a really good example too. This is the leading causes of death in perspective, heart and circulatory disorders. That's something I got to worry about with the amount of bacon that I eat. I've already had cancer, so I think you're going to get that once. I'm not a doctor, I don't know. So there's all these other things. But look at the very top right there. Terror. Terror right there, right? Where do we spend most of our money? Where do we spend most of our money? Where is everybody all worried about? What's everything's going after us? It's like everybody's like, no one wants to put down a plate of bacon, but everybody wants to make sure that they take their shoes off and get strip searched by the TSA because security. Speaking of the TSA, that's my USB drive. I'm sorry. That was my USB drive, okay? That is no longer my USB drive. It's like it was confiscated by this wonderful TSA person, a-hole, and the reason why is because we do not know how to teach our employees and our users how to do critical thinking. So we have to give them signatures. We have to give them parameters. We have to give them, no, it has to fit in this or this. It's like, so it looks like it looks like a grenade. So therefore, they're afraid I'm going to hijack I'm going to blow it. Everybody, we're going to Cuba now, right? It's like, so I can't use that I can't take that USB drive on a plane. I have another USB drive that looks just like that in my bag. I take the cap off and put it in a different pocket. It goes through fine. I've gone all over the world with that USB drive now because it no longer fits the pattern, and that's what they're looking for. Instead of doing critical thinking, they're looking to make sure that patterns are matched. I mean, yeah, you can take through, the last TSA thing they showed 70%, over 70% of the bombs and guns and stuff, went through TSA screening with no problem. But by golly, no 4-ounce tube of toothpaste did. Right? We were protected from that. So it's like, everything else is a little bit of an issue. So we have to teach our employees and teach people how to be better at that, how to be better able to actually detect and use critical thinking on themselves when they see an unusual situation. Because online is just as bad. Everybody's worried about 0 days. Everybody familiar with the word 0 days? It's like, oh my gosh, they dropping O days up in here, right? It's like, that's all worrisome. SQL injection is a problem that's been around since people started coding SQL, which is a programming language. And SQL injection is not a security vulnerability. It's just really crappy coding. If your developer's telling you, it's like, oh, we got hit with a SQL injection, we got a security break. No, your code sucked. It's like, do better. So don't let them use that as an excuse. It's like, that's bad coding. But it is still one of the number one reasons people get popped. There's no reason why your site should be susceptible to this because it's just bad programming. If they did it right, you would never have this. And it's the main way people are getting in. And now another thing about risk is, who do we think are coming after us? Do you think people are really coming after you like nation states are coming after you? Are you a centrifuge in Iran? Maybe they would be going after you. Are you a telecommunications firm in China? They may be going after you. It's like, are you the Pope? Literally. We went after the Pope. And not the other guy with the red shoes, sort of sketchy looking dude. The new Pope, this guy. This guy's awesome. He dresses up as a regular priest at night and goes around Vatican City and feeds the homeless. He's like the Batman of popes. He's amazing, right? But we're still spying on that dude. So it's like, if you're not those kind of people, it's like maybe, just maybe, the nation states aren't after your family photos, okay? It's like there's just a possibility, okay? I don't think Paraguay's coming after your banking account just yet. What about Anonymous and the hacktivist? Anybody here part of Anonymous? Aha! You failed. Sorry. There's always one. You got to be careful of them. So it's like, you look at all these things. The very thing of a hacktivist group is that it's disorganized. You're not really going to see that big of an impact coming after your organization from an anonymous group or an organization. It's like there could be some. It's like, but usually that's not what you have to worry about. What do you have to worry about from your perspective? What's your risk? Who's really coming after you? Criminals, maybe? People who want to steal from you. People who want to rob you should always be the foremost of like, that's who I need to worry about. It's like, so that's what you have to worry about is cyber criminals. People that are coming out and trying to steal from you. That's where your biggest threat lies. And I'm a dad, so I like dad jokes and puns. Don't be literally a target of cybercrime. It's like, how many people here, and don't raise your hand because it's like, I won't believe you, can lose $236 million and your company will be just fine? Not many, okay? Not many people can take like, okay, we lost $236 million. We're good. It's like, we'll just have to, scale back our champagne bath party and stuff, later at the end of the year. It's like, so that's something you have to worry about. So Target was a perfect example. You know why? Because they weren't the original vector of the attack. The HVAC system, the air conditioning company that they contracted was attacked and compromised. And using that trust relationship, therefore compromised Target, the bigger fish. It's like, and trust me, the HVAC company liked to say that they were a victim of APT. It's like we were an advanced attack. It's like APT stands for adequate phishing technique. Stole that from an FBI guy. It's really funny. It's like, so that's the problem. It was just a standard phish. It's like, which is an email sent, let's say you're from one person and you're from another. Google teaches their employees how to be very secure and security-minded. So attackers during the Aurora project that went after Google actually compromised 10 of their friends. For each target of Google, each targeted Google employee, they compromised 10 of their friends on Facebook and then sent messages as those friends to compromise those employees. And that's why it was successful, because they abused a trust relationship. Because let's face it, the majority of workers will blindly open email attachments. That's just fact. It's like, I mean, especially during, right after Thanksgiving, it's like, it's like the Christmas season, all those e-cards, it's like boom, 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 I gotta click that, got another e-card, got another jingle bells, it's like a dancing kitten with a Santa hat on, I have to see that. It's like, and so they'll click it. So I wanna show you risk. So how do I show you risk? So, because you need to teach your employees how to approach these things. And people always have that one excuse in their head. It's never me. It's like, it's never going to be me. It's never going to be me. It's always someone else. Have you ever always noticed that? Everybody interviews the neighbors and they always say, this is a quiet neighborhood. It's like, he was always a quiet guy. I never knew about the hidden basement. Everybody always says that. It's like, it's never around, but it always happens. So I decided to help better let you understand what's going on. I'm attacking one of you in the audience as my demo. Notice how it's no longer funny. I didn't hear a chuckle at all on that one. But let's do that. It's like I want to make it targeted stuff. It's like I want to show you how a spear phishing attack will work. Understand this was in literally less than an hour, and I was playing World of Warcraft at the same time. I Googled, like I usually start most of my attacks, just bad pharmaceutical companies. It's like everybody's going, whew, okay, I'm not in the audience. Hopefully not, because it's like, there you go. I did find somebody. Valeant's new CEO did, and I just love the title. Was just, that's what got me. That's what started this attack. Because did we do that? Yes. Was it a mistake? Yeah. Why is that a question? If you're in a headline saying if you did something, trust me, it was a mistake. There's no question mark on that sentence. It's like, that's just bad. So screw those guys. Let's go after them. So here's their LinkedIn page. I love LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the Facebook of corporations. So you get all kinds of great information out of LinkedIn. Like right now, I see that they have 3,418 employees working for them that are on LinkedIn, which is really good. I know all their different regional businesses. I know their different job postings. I know all this information right off the bat. This isn't even, moderately difficult. this is like, easy's making it sound too complicated. So it's like, let's go after these guys. I find them, I go through here, here's some of the employees. There's Mark, there's Chad and Mark. And how can you pass up the opportunity to go after a guy named Chad? So we're gonna attack Chad here. There's Chad right there. He's a senior legal operations professional for Valeant Pharmaceuticals Gonzaga University School of Law. If that's not made up, it should have been, because that'd be a great TV episode, Gazanga. The only thing better than that is having a law firm, Gazanga, and Gazanga. It's like I would definitely let them represent me. So I go after this guy, and I look at also one of the things that you look at when you're trying to target someone is you look at their trust relationships, you look at their connections. And so I see people also viewed E.L. Ifrigan, Kathy Kahn, Garvin Fouts, Christopher O'Connor, Dan Foster, Jason Marks, Cole Morgan. We'll go back to E.L. Ifrigan later. I like weird names, that's why I say Paraguay a lot. So here he is. Here's some more information on his experience. He's helping Valeant's legal department drive down cost and risk while streamlining processes and workflows. That sounds sketchy just in the first sentence. Definitely it was a good choice. So I take his profile picture from LinkedIn, I do a reverse image search, and I see all the other places that his picture comes up with, like when it comes with Chad Halberg. So there's a couple of them right there, but the one that got me was this one on the far right we'll get to. But first, let's look at more of his social media. Let's look at his Twitter. This is Twitter. He's following 1,551 people, and he's got 1,752 followers, so that's pretty good. I'm actually, I have at least that are active right now, about 15 different Twitter IDs. I'm an 85-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Jack O'Neill from the Air Force, retired. I watch Stargate a lot, whose granddaughter got me interested in Twitter, so I tweet about mowing the lawn. It's like working my garage, doing those kind of things. It's a really good identity because I got a state treasurer with it once. I'm also a 23-year-old redhead female accountant who just got my CPA from just recently graduated university. And I'll tell you, one of the most awkward moments is when you're playing a female accountant and the victim, the target, is actually endorsing you for your CPA skills. I thought that was very nice of them. It didn't stop me from compromising them, but it was a nice gesture. So that was good. So here's all this information, and I noticed that one of his tweets was, happy to have lent a hand in writing this week's Hyperion Global Partners Insights poll article. Would love to chat. Okay, I'll chat. You're inviting me after all, right? So we'll he's definitely an invitational guy. And then we come to this picture. The title of the series is 365 Days of Crushing It. Day 29, Facebook 103, secret groups. If this guy does, I'm not saying this guy has a hidden basement in his room, but I'm not going to his house for dinner, okay? Just period. It's just not gonna happen, okay? So it's like, there's his page right there. And we look at his core postings. He's very social. He's got all this information. He's always willing to help. He's always willing to look out for information. There's Gonzaga University again, because Gonzaga. So he's got all this information, and I see the report a little bit more on his Google Plus page. Who knows what a Google Plus page is, right? It's like, if you don't know what a Google Plus page is, don't feel so bad, okay? Because I know what a Google Plus page is, and I feel bad for Google, okay? So there's his Hyperion Global Partners thing, and I see that this thing keeps coming up. It's like, with Ifrigan and this Twitter, and now it's like this. It's like, what is Hyperion? It's like, they're global thought leaders. I am so going after you now, okay? It's like, so there's their Twitter page. They've got less followers than poor Chad, so it's like, but I don't care. It's like, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'll go after them. So here's their Hyperion's website, and there's Eel. Hi, Eel. He's the president and CEO. There's a whole bunch of really important information that I'm not going to go over, and he's in Sugar Land, Texas. There's his email address, which is really cool. And then here's his LinkedIn profile. He's a CEO right there. So why does Chad and Eel have in common? Each other, a connection. I'm going after the pharmaceutical company. Why am I bothering with this guy? Well, because I'm going to assume his identity to go after Chad, because Chad's my target, because I'm a bad person. But remember the kittens, I'm adorable, okay? But that's what I'm going to do. So how do I find their email addresses if they weren't so nice enough to just give them to me, which they usually are through their social media? I go to email-format.com, and all I need to do is put in the name of the domain, and they tell me exactly how they do their names. John_Smith@Valeant.com. That's how it's done. It's like, I don't have to do any research. I just type it in. I've got their email address format. It shows me all the different places people have used their email addresses from Valeant with different websites. So now, what does that mean? More targets. I have a better increased spread of success because I can target more people. Let's do the same thing with Hyperion. Do the same thing with them. There's a couple of them. And look who's the first top one. There's Eel right there. It's like, that was nice of them. Now, I need to remind you one important thing. The kittens. If I send you an email saying that you won the lottery or you won $1,000, if you would click on this link, I would send you an Xbox One or an iPhone X or shiny gadget, insert here, right? Would you believe that? This day and age, no, not going to happen. But if I tell you something horrible happened, if I tell you something bad happened or something that happened near you was horrific, or I used the news and stuff, would you? Honestly. 2 days after the Boston bombing, I had an email come into my inbox that said Boston bombing, exclamation point, and then it was a link to an IP address that the IP address was just numbers, so just numbers / boston.html. Am I really going to click that link? No, I'm not going to click that link. My daughter was racing at the Boston Marathon. I have family in Boston. It's like there's no really good news coming out within the first 24 hours except for, on Twitter because, don't go looking to CNN or some of these other news agencies for what was going on during the Boston bombing. And that's not knocking the news agencies. It's like go back and look at how the news were reported in the Boston bombing. They didn't have the right information coming out. It's like, so who wouldn't click that link to find out more information? When we're in stressful situations, when we are in uncomfortable situations, one of the biggest things that we crave is information. We want to know what's going on and how it affects us. So that's what I send. I find something horrible to send to you because I'm playing the part of a bad guy. You got to remember that. I'm trying to steal from you. I have robbed buildings in a wheelchair with a box on my lap. You're thinking, you're horrible. I'm stealing from you. What part of that did you not understand? Have you ever been mugged like, hi, I'm sorry right now. It's like, but I need all your money right now, all your money and credit. I'm sorry about this. This is sort of overkill. No pun intended. I mean, I'm sorry. I have to go this way. I mean, I will shoot you if you don't give me the money, but I need it now. And it's like, this is, let's just, but give me the money. You don't get mugged like that unless you're in Canada. Okay? Seriously. It's like I'm trying to steal from you. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what goes on in your life or what it's going to impact. I want the money. So I send a horrible email. I send it to Chad Halberg. I send it from Eel Ifrigan. It's like, and this is, it's in red because I never really sent it. They didn't pay me to send this to them. I am a good guy after all. So the title is, Need to Discuss This Very Concerning. Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation. Exclamation points are very important. One exclamation point, you're like, hey, pay attention to this. 2 exclamation points, you're just being rude and you're shouting. 3, serious business, okay? Something's going down, pay attention. Okay, so hello, Chad. I just wanted you to know I was very pleased with your contributions with the Insights poll article last May. We were actually discussing your possible contribution to a new revised version next month. That is, until someone anonymously sent me this link stating that you've been accused of being involved in highly immoral behavior and possibly illegal activity. While we will not judge or discriminate based on a person's sexuality or private life, the other allegations have us severely concerned. We will need to take a step back and reassess our relationship. Take care. Eel Ifrigan, sent from mobile device. I saw his YouTube video. I'm just saying, okay? It's like, would he click on the link? Did I tell him to click on the link? Did I say anywhere in that email you had to click that link? That mother clicked the link, okay? Let's just be honest. It's like because that's the way it's based on emotion. Emotion's not dealing with the logic part, it's dealing with the emotion part. You'd click on that because you'd want to know what was going on. I say send from a mobile device because I don't know how Eel Ifrigan says hello, hiya, howdy. It's like, I don't know how he says goodbye, take care, sincerely, best regards. But when you read the sent from mobile device, everything's okay. It's like, well, that's not the way but it's sent from, he sent it from his phone. It's like, I'm making an allowance. It's like, that's why all my emails, even in my Outlook signature, it says sent from a mobile device because, that's just the way it works. It's like, because, I lie. And we have to understand the uptick in social media-based attacks. I'm not just going after your networks. Criminals are no longer just going after your networks to get into your company. They're going after your employees. They're going after you. They're going via your social media, through your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagrams, your Snapchats, your whatevers, your Tumblrs and WeChats. They're going after that. That's the issue. So what are some of the things that you can do? Well, one of the key things we need to do is you need to understand that it's not hopeless. It's like pastebin.com. Make sure you're doing a keyword search for you. You can actually set up alerts that'll send you emails when your name is mentioned on pastebin.com. Because I promise you one important thing. There is probably no situation ever where your name is mentioned on pastebin.com and it's a good thing. Okay? Almost never. So you want to know when your name is up on pastebin.com. And these are, I did Valeant because, we're picking on those guys. And I find out that Anonymous is actually going after them, so they're probably okay. But still, this is their Operation Rothschild. And the best one of the things that I like about Anonymous is they come up with really good operation names. It's like Operation Rothschild. That sounds like, a World War II kind of action or something. So there they go. They're going after them and a couple other companies, and maybe Valeant would want to know about that. Maybe you would want to know when someone's targeting you and they're actually broadcasting it to the internet to target you. You may be interested in that. Banks should be monitoring their BIN numbers and their customer names and their bank names for when their customers' credit cards are on here, because I find a lot of customer credit cards on Pastebin. It's like there's a lot of bad stuff on there. Also, you want to check to see if you're on this thing. This is Shodan.io. Shodan.io. You see those red dots? Red dots, just like in war games and nuclear movies and zombie movies, it's like the red dots never mean something good, okay? Those are exposed services and devices onto the internet. And when I mean exposed devices, I mean exposed devices where I could actually go into you with hardly any work whatsoever. Here's some of them. This is NetBIOS. You don't need to know what NetBIOS is to know that it's really, really bad. It's really, really old, and it's really, really sad. So that should not be broadcasting out to the internet, especially if you're a corporation, because there is no hacking. I don't hack you when you've got that open. I just type some stuff and I'm in. That's not even fun. It's like, I'm like, and a lot of people are thinking, it's like, well, why would I have to worry about those things? It's like, who wants to come after me? Well, there's guys like this. He spends his whole day going after and just attacking different searches on Shodan. Because when you're on the internet, you're not a company. You're not in a geographical location. You're a number on the internet. Your neighbors are now China and Russia and Paraguay. And guess what? They're going after you. It's like, especially the Paraguayans. It's like, no offense to any Paraguayans in here. Though if you are Paraguayan, it's like, I'd like to meet you because I've never been a Paraguayan before. So it's like, so there you go. Those are the people that are coming after you. It's like, those are what you have to watch out for, because you're just scanning millions of numbers. And when I mean millions of numbers, he scanned 1.17 million hosts for the Eternal Blue vulnerability that caused WannaCry before WannaCry came out. He found 33,468 of them already infected with that vulnerability. So you are being scanned right now. Your company, your corporation is being scanned by someone looking for a vulnerability. They don't care where you are, what you do, or what you make. You're a number on the internet. Are you vulnerable or not? It's binary, 1 or 0. That's what they look for you. It's not what you do. It's like, well, I have anything no one wants. You have something they want. You have resources. You have identifiable information. You have ransomware. You may not have ransomware, but you will after they're finished with it. It's like you'll have all these kind of things they can use from you. So you are susceptible. So you got to find, these are some names of some companies you can use to do your own blue team. If you don't have a blue team yourself, you can buy some services. The lower two are 2 scanners. Another one's for remote offices. And the other one, vThreat, is a really good way to do simulating a virtual attack so before the actual real one comes through, so you know how to respond to it. So that's a very good thing to learn. And most importantly, when all else fails, Google. Literally, set up a Google alert, and you can set up Google alerts. Google alert. It'll give you the Google alert page, and set it up for the name of your company's, your personal name if you're interested. And whenever something pops up that Google finds, it will send you an email and a digest saying, this is where your name's popped up. This is where your company's popped up, anywhere on the internet that they scan. But we have to teach our employees teachable moments. One of the best teachable moments you can teach your employees is give them something that they understand, that, oh, this is bad, this happened to me, I need to know. Has anybody ever been to this website before, Valeant website? The answer is no. You've never been to this website at all. I hope not. Because that website is valeant.com.cgi-bin.email. Guess who owns cgi-bin.email? This is their site. I can tell that, it's very easy to see the difference. It's like, not really. That's their site. But if you don't worry, I made it a little bit more obvious. This is what happens if you go to that website now. You'll just see a llama judging you harshly. So it's like, but that's the actual website name, valeant.com.cgi-bin, because we look at the URLs that way It's like computers look at it this way. So therefore, they see that my qualifier is .email. People don't realize that .email is just like .com, .net, .info. .email is a valid domain host. So that's how I get people. That's how easy it is to trick an employee to click on a link when they think they're going somewhere special. Another way is physically when people are actually going after their Wi-Fi. A lot of people are using Wi-Fi now because it's easier to do business. It's easier for the networking or previous buildings, and you don't want to wire, so you put Wi-Fi into everything because, yay, Wi-Fi, right? That's what I say because I love Wi-Fi. This is different conferences that I went to and compromised people at. This was RSA. RSA, 30,000 security professionals in San Francisco. 30,000, these are people who know better. 30,000 people in 7 minutes, 42 of them connected to my wireless attack point. I had a malicious wireless attack going on, and 7 minutes, 42 people connected, which is actually not that bad. They're professionals because I did it here last night, and in 7 minutes, I got 52 of you guys on here. That was me sitting in the back of the room last night while everybody was like, what's that weird dude doing there? Oh, poning you. Just a real quick right here. Let's look, boom, here, and we switch here, and we go to here, and there we go. Because now we have, going on right now, I have 72 people connected to my wireless attack going on right now as we speak. Can we say some of those names right there? Oh yeah, there's Sue's ITI cell, Josephine, iPhone 6, Dusty's iPad Pro, Carlos's iPhone, Matthew's iPad 2, Jay's MPB2. I got a laptop on there. That's always fun. And then I've got Stephanie's iPhone, Cindy Wood's iPhone, Jay's iPhone, Rob's iPhone, J-phone, Kathleen's, Kevin's, Current, Jillian's, Wagendal, Monica's, Pookie Sal. That's awesome. That's your iPhone. Karis's iPad Mini 4, Richard's phone, Jolene's iPhone. Sorry, Jolene, my bad. She's not going to like that. Nicole's, Charles, Brendan's, Elizabeth's, Marsh. A lot. Let's just go with a lot, okay? 72 to be exact, actually. So let's keep going. And then sometimes I don't even have to. I've got the business suit of doom. I had this custom made by my tailor in Beijing. The reason why it's the custom made is like, that's all the stuff that I have in the hidden pockets that I created. Got custom made inside the jacket. All those devices will make you have a bad day, and all of them go into that jacket. That briefcase looks like a regular standard Toomey briefcase. It automatically clones your office ID badges within 3 feet radius. So I just walk by and I've automatically cloned your office badge, and I just pull my badge out and I log into the building as you. It's like, it's 3 minutes and it does it automatically. My cufflinks, I really like my new cufflinks. One of them is a Wi-Fi USB adapter. The other one is a 2 gig USB drive full of malware. I plug those into your desktops, and you're now my access point into your company, and all the malware I brought with me on the other USB drive. That's a high-def video camera watch, including a high-def video camera pin, both of them with USB drive capability, so I can steal the data through those. Hopefully I've got your attention now. It's like, and so here's some of the things that you can do. Wi-Fi is unsecure. Always use a virtual private network. There's like Wytopia. There's all these other kind of things you can use. Always keep all your devices and apps patched and up to date. Patching is the best thing that you can do. Before you buy an antivirus, make sure you have a secure patch policy in your company. And I'm really saying that. Antivirus is secondary to patching your systems. Keeping your systems and your apps and your programs up to date on your phones as well as your computers. Also, no more passwords. Use the space bar in your passphrases. Create passphrases that are easier to remember, easier to type out, and most password dictionaries don't have the space bar in the list. So you're going to almost unbreakable passwords. So use that space bar. Never trust links or attachments in emails unless you verify the sender. I probably went way over time. I do apologize, sort of. Sorry, not sorry. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And they think I'm joking, but the uncomfortable silence speaks for itself.
Seriously, I'm done. Thank you.